Hi, my name is Babak, and today I'm going to talk about the audiolingual method for my presentation, or they also called it ARMY method. So first, I'm going to give you brief history or background of audiolingual method, or ALM, and then I'm going to give you basic principles of the language, then the techniques and also activities that they're using in classes. Then I'm going to move to role of the teacher and also student in a class. What are the pros and cons? And then why many theories after that decline the method. And I can give you also an example. And also at the end, I'm going to be concluding it. So uh, it all started from World War II. The US Army and also the US government saw a huge necessity to establish the language skill, especially for the second language or L2 acquisition. So that's how they asked the university teachers and professors to come up with a method so they can learn the language fast. And this method has been backed by two famous theories or schools of thoughts. So the first one is structuralism and the second one is behaviorism. And I can tell you also that audio-language method is the first method that has been backed and supported by two major theories. Before that, we had the grammatical learning of the language. It was not backed up by any methods. So, and what are the basic principles of audio language method? So the basic principle is that they are emphasizing on speech rather than writing, and they don't talk about grammar or writing at all. And also, but they claim that language is a habit such as a child, when a child is born, you're not teaching the child any grammar or any, the definition of any grammars like pronoun, nouns. They don't know that. So they learn it through habits and repetition. And then I'm going to move to techniques now. So the techniques that has been used also in audio-lingual method was oral pattern practice, pronunciation drilling, repeating. So the teacher repeats and the students have to repeat too, memorizing and practicing dialogues. So those were the techniques used by the teacher and also the students have to repeat. Then I'm going to move to the role of the teacher and the role of a student. So the teacher in audio-language method or ALM is like a conductor in an orchestra. So he leads and directs the students, whereas the students are considered imitator, or they repeat whatever the teacher says and whatever the teacher is teaching them. So now I move to the pros and cons of this method, audio-language method. So the advantages or the pros would be that it was backed again. I would tell you that it was backed again by two theories, structuralism and also behaviorism. It made language learning accessible for a large group of ordinary students, building learners' confidence is one other aspect of the method, audio-language method, and also develop basic and easy techniques, and it made it easy for students to learn the language in a language labs. So now I'm going to move to the disadvantages or cons of the ALM. So there's no creativity. Students are only memorizing. So the teacher is not working on creativity or any question and answers. Um, the students also, after some time, especially the advanced students, not the basic learners, the advanced, they would get bored in the class, and they would also get bored and fatigued, and they wouldn't participate in the class anymore. And also, another bad thing about this method is that the classrooms were full, so the teacher wouldn't have any time to talk or participate with each and every student to see if they're lacking anything or if they need any questions to be answered. And also, one of the worst things was that writing and reading was not emphasized at all in this audio-lingual method. So, in 1966, Noam Chomsky, a famous philosopher, language and linguistics person, so he criticized the behaviorism and also the theory that was backing up the ALM. So in that case, that's why after 1966 onwards, the ALM or audio-lingual method reduced the popularity between the teachers and also the instructors and whoever was teaching at that time. So now I'm going to give you an example, like a drill that a teacher would use in his class. He would use like practices such as repetition, replacement. So repetition would be, for example, the teacher would say, I used to know him. And then the students would answer, I used to know him, like repeating. And then the teacher would say, I used to know him many years ago. And again, the students would repeat that. Then we can give another example, such as replacement practices. He bought his house very cheap. And then the class and the students, they would say he bought it very cheap. So it would be a replacement. Completion or like filling the gap, it would be examples such as I have, and then the class would repeat or answer the question as I have a cat, I have a dog, I have a car. So now I come to a conclusion. I would say that audio language method would be the best aim to practice communication for a class. And it would be the best for a class that is not emphasizing or focusing on reading or writing and even grammar. So it would be the best fit for such a classes. But if a class is that they have to focus on grammar, focus on speaking and not speaking, sorry, it's writing and also grammar again, it would be not recommended. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.